Halloween can be such fun, especially if you've got kids. But what about those with four-legged family members? How can we safely include our pets in the festivities? All for Animals checked in with the ASPCA's Dr. Emily who says it's best to keep Kitty and Fido at home.
I think it's really not a good idea to take your pet trick-or-treating. The strangers, the commotion, the noise, those all can be very frightening for a pet. It's also candy and other items that your pet could get into on the street that could be very dangerous. I know it's very tempting to take your pet out for a fun night on the town, but really the safest place for them to be is in the home.
What about having your pet around when you greet trick-or-treaters at the front door?
Yeah, all but the most social dogs should be kept in a separate room during peak trick-or-treating hours. It's a very easy time for a frightened dog or cat to just dart out into the street, which obviously is a terrible thing. It's also important for you to keep the children and the people that are coming to your home safe as well.
And while we did have some fun with the cutest kitten ever, who, by the way, is one of many kittens available for adoption at the ASPCA, Dr. Pointer says it's probably best to leave your pet in their birthday suit.
Some small dogs do seem to like to be dressed up. We have animals that come to the ASPCA in costumes and they seem pretty happy, but by and large I would say that dogs and cats do not like to be dressed up. It's important for people to think about the fact that string, material, and cloth can be lodged in the intestines if they're consumed, and that can be an expensive surgery and a painful surgery for a dog or cat. Obviously those things are all over Halloween costumes. If you are intent on dressing up your dog or cat, you might want to think about doing it a couple of days early to see how they react to it. If your dog or cat is very anxious and uncomfortable, please remember that the way your animal feels is way more important than how cute or how funny they look in a costume. And if your dog or cat is having anxiety about a costume, you might want to think about a festive bandana or a Halloween toy instead of the costume.
Why is it important not to share the Halloween treats that your kids get with your pet?
Candy can be fatal to dogs and cats. Chocolate, especially dark chocolate or baker's chocolate, can kill dogs and cats. There's an artificial sweetener called xylitol that's in a lot of gums and some kinds of candies that can cause fatally low blood sugar and liver failure. Very dangerous. And raisins can actually cause kidney failure in dogs. That not a lot of people know about that. It's also important to remember not only do you need to be aware of these toxic substances, you need to take action to keep these things away from your dogs and cats. Pets can be pretty mischievous when they're looking around your home to find these things, so make sure they're locked away safely.
Tell us about the dangers of pumpkin for pets.
A dog who eats a large piece of a pumpkin, again, could have an intestinal obstruction that requires a surgery, so it's very important to keep your dogs away from pumpkins. Another thing that not a lot of people think about is if you have a candle in the pumpkin, your pet could be easily burned. They're pretty curious and they might stick their paw into the flame. And another thing is if your pet knocks over the pumpkin, your home could be damaged by fire.
So what other precautions should pet parents take?
I think a very, very important thing to think about, not only on Halloween but always, is to make sure that your pet has an up-to-date identification tag and a microchip. If your pet were to become lost on Halloween, that's the way you're going to be reunited with your pet. Another thing is I think it's a good idea in general for cats to be kept indoors on Halloween. It can be a scary night for them, and the safest place for them to be is inside.
For more Halloween safety tips, visit ASPCA.org. And if you're thinking about adopting a pet, please make yours the next great rescue story. Come to the ASPCA and visit Charlie. Hey, Charlie, good boy. Or check out a shelter near you. I'm Susan Richard. Have a safe and happy Halloween, and we'll see you next time on All for Animals. He's a good boy. Yeah.